Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I think I am live. FM. Got it. Live. Getting, yes, confirmation. Getting stream live. Right, ladies. Welcome to our Wednesday. I was going to say Friday, live at 5. I don't do it. I was going to say Friday. But welcome to our live at 5. Today I am hopeful we have a lot of people here this evening because we're going to have a little bit of fun. Well, I've had a little bit of fun compiling this up. So while I am checking on my phone that everything is working the way it's supposed to, could you give me a little hashtag live in the comments if you're watching me just now? And that just now is 4:59. And if you're catching me on replay, just give me a hashtag replay below. Oh, we've got 6 comments already. Hi, ladies. Can you hear me back? That is terrifying. That's terrifying. Me and stereo. Not good. Not good. All right. So, how's your week all going? Is everybody having a really good start to their September? And who, if you've got the amazing weather, like, oh my God, it's absolutely amazing. I went stupidly for a run at lunchtime and was wearing long black leggings and a black vest and nearly died. Come back. I was like, I'm going to be sick. I'm going to be sick. So I'm a bit of a drama queen when it comes to running, has to be said. So hope you're all good. Hope you're all good. So tonight we are all about the social media bullshit. Oops. I just said that word as my little boy came running up the stairs. I'm surprised he's not leapt into the room going, Mommy, language. Um, so there's something happening on my screen. It's dipping out and out being live. So I'm just assuming that we're still working. If anybody does face issues, just pop them in the comments and at some point I will get to them. So I am going to try and share my screen. So this started off actually with me scrolling through Instagram as you do, and I follow different things. I follow weight loss, I follow mindset, I follow loads of different stuff. And I kept on, it's like for ages, like we're talking years, for ages I've been getting all this stuff through that I read it and I'm just like, that's bullshit. That is utter nonsense. And there has been a few things that have cropped up that's made me go, is that right? Like, did I misunderstand like an entire topic when I was studying for my nutrition qualifications? Have I completely missed something out here? And so much so, there has been a few things that I've had to go away and research myself, and like that, this is utter nonsense. So what I've done over the past probably week is just as I've been scrolling, that anything that makes me go, that's absolute crap, as I've screenshotted it. So I put it all together today, and there's some things that are funny, and there's some things that are actually pretty serious, that can be really, really confusing. So, you know, this is by no means a suggestion that everybody falls for this stuff. It's just to kind of call out some of the more ridiculous ones. And what I would love for you to do, if there's any that are popping into your head that you can think of, like that you might have seen and you're like, I don't know if this is real or whatnot, then put them in the comments. You know, just ask the question, you know, somebody said this, is this true? And, you know, hopefully put some of the actual nonsense to bed. So let me try and share my screen. I did it in PowerPoint, but I'm not going to be able to put it in presenter mode. So I'm just watching me on the other screen to see if this indeed does crop up. But I play with my hair an awful lot. It's a bit of a time lag. Right. So these are some slides of some actual nonsense that I have consumed over the last week. So what the message here is, when we focus on different things, when we focus on things that we see on social media, it becomes a reality because it's the same as fake news. So if you think back to all the election campaigns where it was deemed that there was all this fake news, people were believing it because that's what they see and that's what we understand to be true. We've got no reason to not believe it's true. So some of these things are actually they are all bullshit. But I hope you can see. I don't know if you can see the screen. How can I make this bigger? Zoom, zoom, zoom. That worked. Sorry, it looks like I'm doing something fancy, but I'm just looking at my phone screen. Right. So this one on the left, 9 drinks for keto diet. Right. Water, green tea, black tea, coffee, bone broth, almond milk, wine, low carb smoothie, protein shake. These are just drinks. These are just drinks for life. These are all drinks that anybody can drink at any time, doing whatever they want. So don't start partaking in the I must drink this because it's keto, because keto has been proven time and time again to simply be people lose weight because they're in a calorie deficit. That has been proven. Even the man, I can't even remember the guy's name, who invented the whole keto movement, if you like, he researched, and then his research actually showed that it was all to do with being in a calorie deficit, nothing to do with being in ketosis, nothing to do with the ketones. And then there was another study that came out that proved that again, but it wasn't from the keto guy, it was from a normal nutritionist. And he challenged it. So they went back and forth, and it was a good few years ago. And it has been repeatedly proven that keto is calorie deficit. So drinks for life, doesn't need to be in keto. This middle one here, weight loss and blood sugar balancing hack, eat half a fresh grapefruit before meals. Right, absolutely no truth in this whatsoever. Just don't. If you want to eat some grapefruit at any point, eat some grapefruit. It's not going to do you any harm, but it's certainly not going to balance your sugar levels in your blood, and it's certainly not going to help you lose any more weight than what you would be losing already. Okay, so ignore these things. This one here, it took me a while to kind of figure out. I was like, what is this actually telling me, that fat and carbs do not mix? Like, are you kidding me on? Are you telling me that I can't have some butter on my new potatoes? Are you telling me that I can't cook up my rice in some olive oil if I was doing fried rice? So again, they do mix. That's got nothing to do with when you eat your carbs, when you eat your fats. We have got so much evidence of women who have dropped multiple dress sizes up to about 32 pounds in 3 months, and they've been perfectly happy mixing their carbs and fats. So don't believe the hype, it's nonsense. This one here, drink this before sleep and wake up with less weight every day. Right, I don't even know what it is. Fat burning drinks. There is no such thing as specific fat burning foods, and I've done a video on that before. And there is also no way to spot reduce body fat from any other area. None at all. If there was, seriously, I would be sitting here in my Cinderella castle, just enjoying life, So you don't need to drink anything specific before bed to wake up with less weight. Chances are, once all your food is digested and you have pooped, then, and you're probably going to be a bit dehydrated when you wake up first thing, you're going to be weighing less anyway. It's nothing to do with any weight loss type drinks. Ginger water, the healthiest drink to burn all the fat from the waist, back, and thighs. Like, no. Fat is, if you're in a calorie deficit, i.e., you're consuming less calories than you are burning, you're doing your exercises, you're not going to be losing fat from any specific area. Our bodies basically just dictate where the fat loses from. So some people will always lose weight from their boobs first. Some people, you'll notice their face leans down first. Some people will lose it from their bum or their thighs or their waist or their hips or their calves or their feet. Different people have different areas that the body it goes to. What tends to happen is the areas that you don't like the most, they will tend to be the areas carrying the most amount of body fat. So for me, it's my thighs. They never seem to reduce at all, but it's because they are large. I have got very, very strong thighs, but even though they are reducing, because I've got more petite waist, I'll notice that more. So less fat needs to come off that for me to notice it than it does on my thighs. So it's not that it's not ever coming off, it's just you probably got a higher percentage of body fat in that area, so it doesn't visually look as if it's coming off as quick, but you are losing body fat. Okay. This one on the right is, these foods reduce belly fat. No. no, 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 no. Uh, this has got closed captions coming up now, and I've just said that nope thing 100 times. Apologies if you're reading. Um, this one is kind of a bit of a fasting thing. Well, it's not really about fasting, I suppose. Ideal time to eat between 7 and 8. Don't eat any later than 10 and eat within 30 minutes of waking up. Like, ridiculous rules like this confuse the life out of people. They make things harder than they need to be. There is no rule written in the sky that says that you have to eat between 7 and 8 in the morning. There is no rule that says that you must not eat after 6 o'clock at night. There is no rule that says you must have a gap of 4 hours between your meals. One of the things that we as women are very bad at as we age, because we have most people in this group might identify, if we've been on a cycle of dieting all our lives, we've forgotten what it's like to be able to identify our natural hunger cues and our natural satisfied cues. Because we're so used to controlling what we're eating, we're so used to controlling when we eat, that it all gets a little bit muddled up. So, as I say, if you want to eat breakfast, eat breakfast. If that's at 10:05, so be it, it's at 10:05. But if you're then having lunch at 12 and you're not actually hungry, you could maybe try pushing your lunch back until you are hungry so that you're eating when you're hungry. Again, talking about, I loosely talked about fasting there. Again, there is no magic fairy that comes down and twinkles the fairy dust on you at 8 o'clock when you finish eating to say, now you can burn fat. No, that's not, fasting works by the same principle as any other weight loss. And that is being in a calorie deficit. By having the hours as a parameter, it just people feel more in control. So from that aspect, it can be really helpful. However, if we are having extended periods of fasting for women who are over 40, there may be instances of actually raising cortisol levels because your body is under stress, and therefore actually make it harder for you to lose body fat. So, fasting is one of those things that is lauded about as being like the best thing ever. And it can be for some people. It hasn't worked for me. The minute I give myself a cut off, I'm like, oh my God, I'm starving, I must eat. And psychologically, it wasn't great for me. But that's not to say it doesn't work for others. This one on the right really fucked me off. Excuse me for the bad language. Right, put your thoughts about this in the comments. I thought this was actually just rude. Do you really need to eat things in moderation? It's nothing natural or normal but a Kit Kat or Mars bar, so why do it? You wouldn't encourage people to smoke cigarettes just because of everything in moderation. A Kit Kat and a cigarette are two very, very, very different things, aren't they? You're not going to get overweight by having a Kit Kat, just the same as you're not going to lose a stone by having a salad. If you have 20 Kit Kats in a day for every day of your life, yeah, you're going to put on body fat. You're going to have bad skin. But having one Kit Kat a day, a couple of chocolate bars a week, that stops you from then binge eating because all you can think about is a bloody Kit Kat or a chocolate bar, then that to me is a good thing, because it's mentally not a challenge. Psychologically, you're not restricting yourself and then going through this cycle of all or nothing. I just felt it was really, really poor taste. I'm just checking to see if anybody has made any comments on this, or whether it's only me being a bit psycho. Not being psycho. Yeah, so genuinely, folks, let me know your comments on that one, because it just angered me a lot. This one here, the priority pyramid of ketogenic dieting, where dietary fat is the most important thing and controlling carbs is the second and protein is the third. And electrolytes, like, really, unless you're actually like working out for more than an hour, like with high intensity, like running a half marathon, a marathon, what's over an hour, 10K for a lot of people. Working out anything longer than that at high intensity, at a high heart rate, yes, you might need to replace electrolytes. But if you're doing a 30, 40, 50, 60-minute weights workout, you do not need to replace electrolytes. And calories being the least priority thing. Sorry, my printer's making a weird noise. So that is completely wrong. The way that we would look at that with this one here, in terms of calories, there are the fundamentals. For us, it would be protein, then fat and carbs have equal, but underpinning it all is consistency, patience, and mindset. That is underpinning the full thing for us. And that's how we get the results that we get. Yes, Tessa, thank you. It is a ridiculous comparison. Glad I'm not the only one. This one here is also ridiculous. Lemon and chia water to eliminate accumulated fat and cleanses the body in just 3 days. Right, so we all have livers. Well, most of us have. 99.9% of us livers. I'm sure there's maybe somebody here that's got a dodgy liver. But your liver cleanses your body. Your liver dealing with all the toxins and extracting them from the body. Chia seeds, lemon water, a lot of people rave by having lemon water in the morning. Like, it's not going to do you any harm. For some people, it gives them a little burst of like, oh, zing, I'm awake. The thought of drinking chia water, it does make me feel a little bit sick, because for those of you that have ever had chia seeds, you'll know what I mean when I use the phrase frog spawn. I could use another phrase, but it would be slightly crude of me, and I'm not going to do it. But yeah, it would be like drinking frog spawn. It's literally disgusting like that. There's no bad things about chia seeds. They're a really good source of fiber, protein, fats, but they are quite calorific for what you have to use. They do have lots of good nutrients, but it's not going to do anything from a cleanse point of view. And I actually reported this one. Chemo is $100 billion a year business, yet sour salt fruit, I never heard of it, is 10,000 times stronger than chemo and practically free. Like, genuinely, people post this crap. Like seriously, can you, like, with a normal brain, nobody must know this is real. So I actually went through the comments, and thankfully every single comment was somebody saying, this is wrong, we're reporting you, this is scaremongering, this is ridiculous. So yeah, thoughts, if you see anything like that, feel free to report it. I did report it, and it came back with saying, no, there's nothing wrong with it, which was kind of like, it's telling a little bit of a different story. So yeah, that one bad. So these ones, so this one, I had a little bit of fun with this. So after, I don't know if any of you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen my story. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. It's at Team EMW. So I went for this run at lunchtime, and I was absolutely exhausted, and I came back and I took a wee photo and put it on my stories. And then when I was doing all this stuff, I was like, I'm going to do something about retouching and editing. Now, today what I've done is taken my own photo and I've retouched it up myself, right? And it's the first time I've ever done it, and it's hilarious. But it just goes to show how easy it is. So all I did was go into a Play Store and Google retouching app, and it came up with body editor. And I did I did one with my body, which I was going to show you, but I managed to make myself look just completely photoshopped, so I didn't post it. But these, like this guy here, I've got no idea who he is. If he's famous, can somebody let me know who he is? But this is a retouched up photo, which I thought was really clever. Not clever, but it's very realistic, the one on the right. But the one on the left of me, I changed. Right, so obviously retouching is meant to make you look better. I'm not wholly convinced that this one does. But the one on the left, sweaty, skin texture, you can see I've got a droopy eye, I've got jowls, and I've got heavy under eye stuff, and I just look like a bag of hammers. The one on the right, still look like a bag of hammers, but I'll share with you what I did. So I evened out my skin, and I raised my eyebrows, so I arched my eyebrows, and I tilted my eyes up, right? Skin tone, you can see under eye bags have gone, jowls kind of gone, you can still see those trough lines. I made my lips thicker, I made my mouth slightly wider, and I shortened my nose. And I think that's all I did. Oh, I retouched up my hair a little bit, and you can see in the sky a wee bit where I've retouched up the sky. Retouched up the sky. So, please have a laugh at this, because it is ridiculously easy to do And with a little bit of practice, I would be able to like make it a lot more realistic. Like I do look a little like a blow up doll slightly. But when you are seeing pictures in magazines, be very mindful that they could be heavy touched up. And also on the flip side, like it's been a long time since I've bought a women's magazine like Heat or Grazia, my boy wasn't so bad. But do you remember back in the day they would always do oh my god, look at her, she's a disgrace, and it would be somebody in their 40s and 50s who's got a bit of a tummy or got fat rolls. I've since found out that magazine editors make their fat rolls look worse and make their cellulite look worse so they can talk about it in their magazine. So that's ridiculous. Do you not think? Absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. So thoughts? Is it that's gonna help anybody look at social media in a different way, or is this all things that people are aware of and I'm just late to the party? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to remove the screen share aspect if I can do that without actually breaking anything. No, it turns out I'm going to break everything. Right. There we go. Yeah. Screen share and stopped. All right. So am I just late to the party? Let's see. Nobody's made any comments. Come on. Have a laugh at my face. You're more than welcome to it. Yeah, so that was my entertaining. Oh, Kelly, that's a good one. Intermittent fasting according to toe shape. Yeah, so that, not seen that one. I might have to keep an eye out for it. There's also another one that makes me laugh every time I see it, and it's diets, your diet according to your horoscope, which just cracks me up every single time. And also check out if you're in any of your Facebook marketplace is always big for this. There's always somebody selling this. Oh my god, you can drop 3 stone in a day. Look, I did it myself. Look how amazing. And there was a lady locally where I am who posted her before picture and her after picture, and it was clearly 2 different women. Like trying at least match the skin tone, trying at least match the body shapes. So she was called out, not by me, by several other people. But yeah, just be very mindful. And I know we all want a quick fix, but it doesn't exist. I think most people have probably had their fill of quick fixes and going on the diet roller coaster and the hamster wheel and all the emotional stuff that comes with it and spending of ridiculous amounts of money for nothing. So I think we're all over that. So today was just to have really a little bit of fun and identify, what to look out for. There is no easy one. Right, so here we go. We've got intimate fasting facilitator Claire Campbell. Right, Claire, can you get your sister to do my photo and make me look normal? Thank you. Diet according to body type. Yes, I have seen that. I've also seen diet according to blood type, which for a wee while that was quite a big thing, but it's since been disproven as being utter nonsense. Yeah, Nicola is really confusing. I've come across you on social media. Oh, thanks, Nicola. You can stay, thanks. Yeah, so just calling out bullshit one day at a time, and it's still going to exist, but hopefully being able to identify it, point at it, laugh at it, ignore it, and then scrolling through some for looking at pretty things like Chanel or what other pretty things, just stuff, nice pretty stuff on Instagram. Have I been looking at it? I've been following a lot of mindset stuff recently and following people like Jim Rohn, Ray Dalio. There's a couple of generic mindset ones that have been quite good. So yeah, right. I am, for anybody that is in the 5-day mini course, I'm just about to go over, get my stuff together, and probably going to do that from my phone actually, because it's a little bit easier to set up. So if you are in the 5-day challenge group, I'll see you there in a few minutes. And if you're not, I apologize that you have missed out. It's a lot of fun. You're going to get some knowledge. You're going to make some changes. Going to get loads. If you've done one before, this is going to be slightly different from the ones that you've done before because I've added quite a lot to it. So have a good one. Have an amazing evening. If you've got the sunshine, go and enjoy it. Get some vitamin D. Wear sunscreen on your face. Factor 50 every day. And yeah, go and enjoy the sunshine. Go and get out, get some fresh air, paddle in the water if you're near some. Have a lovely evening. Take care, folks.